could have been, now thinking back on it, a really, really bad scene.
Panic, traffic backup, and a massive response from multiple law enforcement agencies, but indeed it could have been much, much worse.
Now, live, this is 8 News Now at 5.
And we do thank you for joining us on 8 News Now. I'm Brian Loftus.
And I'm Denise Valdez. A suspect is in custody tonight after barricading himself in an armored truck on the Hoover Dam bridge. We begin tonight with team coverage. Patrick Walker is here with a look at some of the images sent to us by viewers as this was all unfolding. Karen Castro is live near the Hoover Dam Visitor Center after talking to tourists and drivers caught up in all that mess. But we begin with Brittany Edney live near the lodge with a closer look at what caused the commotion. Brittany?
Denise, the man who barricaded himself on the Hoover Dam, scaring tourists, visitors, motorists, and, just stopping traffic while he is in police custody. NHP says this all started just before noon today when they started receiving calls about a man with a possible rifle or machine gun. Now, here's a picture of a viewer who says that they saw this, what appeared to be an armored vehicle on the bridge. That's when NHP and other agencies from both Arizona and also here in Nevada started to respond. They started to shut down traffic in both directions on US 93, also clearing visitors off of the Hoover Dam bridge to make sure that everyone got far enough away from this vehicle. NHP does tell me that from there, the man tried to go over to the Arizona side, and that's when he actually ran over some of those spike strips that were set out by authorities. That ended up helping responders corner him in a wash area, which is about 3 miles off the highway from where I am now. They want to stress the importance of being careful in these types of situations because you never know what a person is thinking.
We don't know if he's angry at the government or someone who did him wrong, or what the situation is with this gentleman. We don't know his mental state. So we always got to approach these situations with the abundance of caution. And our officers, our troopers will go in there. They'll put themselves at risk, but they're going to do everything they can to get the public away.
Again, this entire incident this afternoon lasted for about an hour and a half, and I want to stress again that no one was hurt and that he did go into police custody peacefully. Now, authorities have yet to confirm whether or not they actually found a weapon in either his vehicle or on him when he was taken into custody. Reporting live, Brittany Edney, 8 News Now.
All right, thank you, Brittany. The freeway closures caused a traffic mess that impacted and affected drivers and tourists. 8 News Now reporter Karen Castro continues our team coverage live near Hoover Dam's Visitor Center. And what is the latest there, Karen?
Well, Brian, the Hoover Dam Visitor Center closed for business just a few minutes ago, but no one has been allowed to go inside since about the noon hour. Nevertheless, we continue to see vehicles approaching the security checkpoint, but they're out of luck, at least for today. Now, earlier this afternoon, there was a bit of a backup as Hoover Dam security were telling drivers that they could not go in. We saw a lot of disappointed and confused visitors with no other option but to turn around. Now, many of them were pulling over on the shoulder waiting for the visitor center to reopen, but of course that did not happen. Most of the people we spoke with had no idea what was going on. They say they tried asking security but got no answers.
Disappointing because it was one of the last things on our trip. So, the drive home between here and Florida is not real eventful. So this was one of the last big things we were going to see.
Might as well tell my family over there that, we're not seeing Hoover Dam today.
You think they'll be disappointed?
Yes, they will be, because he is from India and he specifically wanted to see Hoover Dam since he teaches engineering, and he really wanted to see how it was made, and he's been asking me, Hoover Dam, Hoover Dam.
We wanted to show you a picture taken by many of the stranded drivers on US 93 earlier today. Authorities shutting down that highway in both directions near the Hoover Dam bridge as they were dealing, of course, with that suspect. A lot of drivers getting out of their cars as that traffic came to a complete stop. The traffic jam lasted for several hours after authorities eventually arrested that suspect peacefully. All right, we continue our coverage now with Patrick Walker, I believe, who's got more on all of the different images that came in. Really the best perspective, just how scary it was out there on the bridge, came from our viewers. So, Patrick, you were actually anchoring live coverage starting at noon today when this was all breaking in our newsroom, right?
Yeah, you know, this is one of those situations where the initial reports that we were hearing and getting didn't give us the whole picture, but as people took to Facebook and Twitter and to the email into our newsroom, it quickly became clear how serious this was. So this was the first image we got coming in from Keith Aronson, and we initially thought, well, that looks like a SWAT team vehicle or something like that, but then it became clear this armored vehicle was actually the vehicle in question. Let me fast forward here to another image that we saw. This is when you could tell that really there was a problem out there. Yes, there's a big backup approaching. This is looking out toward the dam and then into Arizona, but check out all of the police vehicles here. NHP, Metro, we see a ranger from the National Park Service and at Lake Mead. So they were out there as well doing what they could to try to get to this person that was in the vehicle and figure out what exactly they were dealing with. Another photo from a little bit closer, we could see some of the SWAT team ambulances and other vehicles. The viewer that sent this in, Jessica, circled up here. This is where that vehicle was. So the traffic was backed up actually onto the bridge and out. And I spoke with this Keith Aronson on the air and then later, and he said that everybody that were in the cars out on that bridge had to be evacuated by police, and then we're out just standing around in the heat waiting to see what was going on. A lot of people had no idea what was going on. Traffic was just stopped completely. Now here's a look from on top of Hoover Dam itself, up on the deck of the dam. People were being evacuated from there. The Bureau of Reclamation confirmed that they were having to evacuate people as a safety precaution, because you could see right here is the bridge up above, and if it's a man with the gun, of course, they want to be safe and not knowing what he could do. They just wanted to get people out of harm's way. Finally, a close-up from Keith again, showing that armored truck. No markings other than a LV003, but as you can see, a scary situation. Someone with a gun holed up in an armored vehicle across a bridge. This is something that you don't see every day, obviously, but something in a high-profile area like around the Hoover Dam is a major cause for concern. So, Brian, we really do appreciate viewers that were in a safe area that were able to get out and take some photos and send them in to us and really give us an idea of what we were dealing with, what police were dealing with out there.
Thanks, Patrick. We always